Love that. Well done.
They train in the London 2012 borough, but there is no Olympic-sized pot of cash to help keep their club afloat. Most of the teams around Newham have already folded, meaning the Royal Falcons now have to travel out to Essex to compete.
Oh, well played. It's hugely difficult for parents. It's a huge amount of pressure. It's forcing children and parents out of football, out of the game. It's forcing children out of the area to go and play in other boroughs. Grassroots football in Newham is almost dead. It's clinging on by its fingernails. There's very few teams and clubs left in Newham.
Do you expect, though, to have this service for free at a time when the council are having to make cuts elsewhere?
Expect it for free? Not entirely. We expect should always be an associated cost. But it was the support that's more crucial for organisations like ourselves, that the local authority actually engage, support and recognise what we do. And the blue team are always going to be looking to go to the middle.
The club, which has 300 young players and pays to play on council pitches, has to raise £15,000 a year to survive. Darren comes to watch his son, but first they have to fix up the pitch, and that's just the start of the problem.
Yeah, and as you can see, these are our storerooms. Doesn't scream 21st century. We've not been able to get an electric in here for 2 years. We've been asking. We have no facilities for changing, so we can't have an adult team. Our toilets around the corner have all got leaks in them, and we do have around here all the time quite a bad drug problem. We sometimes have to clean up paraphernalia ourselves.
Sport and leisure budgets have fallen by an average of more than £400,000 over the past 5 years, according to councils who responded to our Freedom of Information Act request. Overall, that's a drop of nearly a third across the capital. Newham, where Royal Falcons are based, has cut £1.9 million. That's a fall of 45%. Alex Welsh has spent 3 decades trying to protect London's pitches and says it's becoming more of a challenge.
If we're really serious about combating obesity and knife crime, isn't it illogical to get rid of the places where communities can be more active and where we encourage young people to join teams rather than gangs?
Councils own 85% of the pitches in this country, but with more demand for housing and pressure on budgets, there are fears their protection is far from a priority.
Amy, worrying stats there for any grassroots club. What's the response been from councils tonight?
Well, ironically, the government keeps saying it wants more of us playing sports, and yet it sets targets on participation, but not on the facilities the councils need to offer, and clearly they need to make cuts somewhere. We contacted Newham, who were criticised in that report. They've responded saying that since 2010, their funding from central government has been halved, and clearly they're already trying to make cuts elsewhere. So sport is being hit. They also said that they would like to see the football world do more. It's such a rich sport. We've contacted the FA. They do say that they're trying to invest more in grassroots sports. That's why they keep saying that they want to sell Wembley to put money into the lower leagues and into junior football. With regards to the actual facilities that were criticised there, Newham Council have said, well, yes, we can see that we need to be doing more. It's a new administration. The mayor's only been in place since May, and she is going to be meeting the club next week to talk through the concerns.
And also, we saw in your report, this isn't just about kids playing football, is it? There are potentially much wider implications to this.
Well, yeah, there's concerns that if children don't have places to play, there's going to be rising obesity and rising crime. So what we could see in 10, 20 years' time, there's actually more pressure on the NHS and on the police to try and deal with that. And at the moment, the problem is bad enough. At the moment, we have in London 16% of the country's population and just 8% of the country's pitches.
It just means it could be a much longer-term problem. Amy, thank you.